Foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing is a good thing when done right. Like right now.
Abracadabra, I wanna reach out and grab you.
Jeremy thinks that him singing whatever that was funny enough to put in this video.
Look at all these candles! This house is a stumbling child away from a travesty. Also, let's go ahead here now and send the ultimate evil entity for requiring the people who live in this house to play a random game whenever someone gets married. And sometimes that game involves a track and kill portion where the unsuspecting newest member of the family is hunted down for sport. Don't pussy out if you're gonna curse a family. Make that game a regular ritual if you believe in it so much. Or make the curse something else, like gonorrhea.
Mr. LaBelle will only pick hide and seek if he believes the family member is not worthy. Grace, for instance, was given hide and seek because she's not like the other members of the Lay-Domas family.
But she'll never be one of us.
Of course not, dear. She has a soul.
Letting your child be an accessory to murder.
The villains of the movie are doing bad things? Well, that's not allowed.
Also, letting your child be born into a cursed family.
That thing I just said, again.
For better, for worse, for richer, poorer.
Practice.
Why is practice a sin? Unless you don't practice your Oh. Also, you forgot to add the sin.
Practice. Also, that dress is weaving me some more feelings than I'm used to feeling.
In case you couldn't tell, Ready or Not is one of those movies that's so good that it requires Jeremy to fill the video with jokes like this so that the video can be over 10 minutes. It's actually 8 minutes now, but when he uploaded this, it was 10 minutes.
Smoking in your wedding dress just before your wedding?
This is characterization. It shows what kind of person Grace is.
You look perfect.
Look, this guy is clearly hoping the night's draw will not be a game of to the death, so he doesn't tell his fiancée about that possibility, which honestly makes this guy almost as bad as the rest of his family that try and kill her later, maybe even worse.
That's the point. Alex is characterized as being naive and selfish. He believes that the only way he can be good is if he runs away from his family with Grace. And he's so desperate to be good that he doesn't tell Grace about the ritual, and just tells himself that hide and seek is incredibly unlikely.
Your dad looks like he's at a funeral.
Who wears this tie to a funeral?
She meant the way he's acting.
Anyway, who cares what they think? They're horrible people.
If you feel this way, why are you keeping their secret?
Just... If I told you, you would have left. Here comes the groom.
Brothers.
You're talking, but it means nothing!
I'm giving you an out.
You, dude, you are not giving her a true out. This might make your conscience feel better, though it shouldn't, but it's not a true out for her unless you tell her the whole truth. This is like having herpes, and right before sex with a person you say, I'm giving you an out, but you don't say that the in is herpes.
Again, that's the point.
Jesus, Aunt Helene, can you give us a minute?
You'll have to hide better than that.
But Aunt Helene doesn't even know what game is going to be picked yet, so how does she know to foreshadow so precisely here?
She doesn't know what game is going to be picked, but she's hoping it's hide and seek because she really hates Grace.
If it gets your family to accept me, I will play the out of checkers.
The lip movement is a little off in this clip, and it's not like that in the actual movie or a problem with my recorder. I checked.
With that being said, this is as good a time as any to point out how Samara Weaving takes control of this movie quickly and assuredly. Without her performance, I'm not sure this movie would even be good, and definitely not as good as it is.
Very good. What he said.
She knew it was game time and asked for a moment, but did not change out of the wedding dress?
Maybe the ritual requires everyone to dress formally. Notice how all of the Lay-Domases are still in their wedding clothes for the rest of the film, which is also the rest of their life.
So, how much have you told her? Nothing. And I never will.
Really curious how you see that working out for you. Either she picks hide and seek and has to be hunted down, or she picks a different game and lives, but will eventually down the road have to hunt and potentially murder someone else trying to be part of the family. Does Alex think she'll be okay with either outcome?
Alex is planning on leaving his family for good once the game is finished. So he won't have to worry about Grace having to murder someone because they won't be there when the game is played again.
All the open flames, all the wood, all the books. This room is begging to be burned to the ground.
You can hear background noise in that sin.
All the books.
But he really understood how important it was for me to finally have a real permanent family.
Maybe he did, but we've been told he had left the family and cut off communication with them for the past 2 years. He's also made it pretty clear to Grace that they were done with his family after this night. So how is he giving her a permanent family exactly?
She's lying.
Kill!
raising bloodthirsty offspring.
That is what's on screen, and the movie knows it's a bad thing. This shouldn't be a sin.
Some may call it luck, but well, it's a little more than that.
Yes, usually it involves underpaying overworked employees and denying them of needed benefits to amass this kind of fortune.
Whenever the Dumases are presented with a new addition to the family.
Does this apply for babies? Because there's some kids running around here, and I'm sure they count as new additions to the family, right? We only see and hear them talk about marriage in this context, but babies and adopted kids would still cause the game ritual to happen, no? And I realize that makes the movie disgusting instead of fun, but rules are rules.
No, the box only applies to marriage. Similar to how people born into a monarch can rule, only people born into the family can not play the game.
I got chess.
I got Old Maid.
So the odds are against her drawing the to the death game card, right? Just making sure, because everyone in the movie is acting like a to the death game is a foregone conclusion right now, and mathematically it is not.
No one in the movie is acting like hide and seek is inevitable. You just made that up. Sure, Aunt Helene is hoping hide and seek is drawn, but that's not what you said.
Come meet me in my room.
He says, come meet me in my room, which is 6 words, instead of they're going to kill you, which is only 5.
If Grace was told what's going on right now, she might look suspicious in front of the family. Grace's survival chances are increased if the family doesn't suspect anything.
I had to play along so that I can get you out.
So wait, the kids don't get to participate in the kill? The kids in the flashback opening seem to.
Young Alex and young Daniel were not participating. They were looking for a place to hide so that nobody accidentally killed them. Also, I could hear some audio from the film near the end of that scene.
The kids in the flashback opening seem to. I know people love money and but seriously, how in the do you convince this many people to keep a tradition alive where they might have to murder someone eventually?
Some people are ridiculously desperate.
1/3 of the way through this thing, and no one has told her that she might be killed. Honestly, that makes her easy to kill. And so I feel like this family is cheating like a bunch of Astros.
Nowhere in the film are we told that Grace has to know in advance that she has to die.
This is a terrible hiding place.
Grace was told by Alex that she doesn't have to win, so she probably doesn't care.
Do I have to win?
No, you just have to play.
Is she putting on lipstick prior to the big kill? She's putting on lipstick and the bride is hiding in her wedding gown?
She's putting on lipstick so that she can hit on Alex.
Alex, honey, do you want some company?
And we already talked about the wedding gown.
That's enough of this.
Are you kidding me? Even if you think it's only basic hide and seek, this is way too early to move. Also, what happens if she just gives herself up and they don't find her in the traditional way? Does that prevent them from putting off the curse until there's another wedding? I know I keep harping on this, but for a movie that has a major storyline revolving around rules, the rules are very poorly defined.
It doesn't matter how she's found. They just have to give her a head start, find her, and then do the ritual.
If they ever make a prequel to this, I really hope they go into the reason why the family has all the female staff dress up like they're about to shoot a Robert Palmer video. I bet that story is simply irresistible.
Jeremy says a bunch of words and then adds a sin.
This is Clara.
Does she look like she's wearing a giant white wedding dress, Emily?
Seth Cohen would be excellent at CinemaSins. Also, after seeing her shoot Clara, I'm wondering why they're even playing the game like this. They are leaving a hell of a lot up to chance. Tony has to realize his daughter is not playing with a full deck, and one of his sons is in love with the prey, and the other is clearly boozing his ethical dilemmas away. Do they even really need every single person to search for her? Tony and Becky seem to be the only competent people in the whole bunch, and I guess Fitch could provide a little muscle if needed. I'm just saying, this could have been organized a lot better.
The reason for the disorganization is that the family wasn't expecting to have to play hide and seek tonight. The best they could do is gather weapons, split up, and look for Grace.
They move the body so Grace doesn't see it, but they leave the trail of blood because that shit's invisible.
They're probably coming back to clean up the blood after they dispose of the body.
She's not going to wipe that off, is she? Emily is terrible at cocaine concealment. I mean, she's also a murderer and probably an awful mother, but the lack of cocaine hygiene is really what's bothering me.
Do you think somebody as incompetent as Emily would be able to handle cocaine well?
They think that if they don't kill you, something very bad will happen to the family.
Once again, that is information that would have been more helpful to her yesterday!
We already covered this.
There are rules. You can't just elope.
Maybe not, but when Grace said, hey, let's get married, you could have told her what would happen if you did get married. And she might have thought you were crazy and left you. Or she might have just said, cool, we'll just be Kirk and Goldie. Just saying it would have been a better call than this.
If I didn't propose, you would have left. You just need to go straight down this hallway until you get to the service kitchen.
Last time an underground tunnel was this convenient, the President of the United States was being kidnapped by Nicolas Cage.
laugh. I'll give you a 10-second head start.
Okay, but why?
Daniel cares about his family and Grace. Giving a head start leaves the playing fields even as far as he knows.
Yeah, sister, you are f***ing hot. Tennis shoes, the wedding dress, the gun, the grime. This is doing it for me, baby. And clearly it's doing it for you, as it should. Why would the knife be set on that f***ing counter? Why wouldn't it be on the island or somewhere in the kitchen more convenient?
As someone who has been in multiple houses with a similar setup, the placing of this block of knives is not in any way inconvenient.
Choking the churney.
Look, I'm not even a maid. Mr. Ludamasi just likes the way I dance.
See, you thought my Robert Palmer Girls prequel was a bad idea. They're laying the f***ing groundwork for me. The maid screams to turn in Grace, and in the commotion, the dumbwaiter door comes down and decapitates her? This is some convoluted shit.
I do agree it's strange for the dumbwaiter to be able to kill her, but it wasn't a decapitation. It crushed the middle of her body.
Very good. What he said.
Kids. Also, this whole family can't aim for shit.
That's the point. The family didn't do any preparation for the ritual because they thought it wouldn't come.
It's the world's most poorly crafted ladder.
Or the ladder is so old that it's decaying.
Also, I'm curious why this cellar, or whatever the f*** it is, we even have a ladder. Who would purposely go down here?
It's likely the cellar used to be something else before the Ledomas family used it to dispose of dead bodies.
Good thing that one punch to the face of that little kid who shot her knocked him out for hours, or that no one heard the commotion in the barn, or that the goats and other animals aren't making noise due to the weird circumstances happening.
The barn is far enough away from the mansion for the Ledomas family to not hear them.
You little I realize she's mad, but again, is she trying to call attention to her whereabouts? Because this is how you get ants. I mean, call attention to your whereabouts.
We already went over this.
She screams a bunch of obscenities at the driver for not stopping, but listen, he doesn't know what she's been through. For all he knows, some homeless bloody bride just tried to carjack him.
His reaction was still unjustified.
Help! Stop! Please! Oh my God! Thank you!
Get the fuck out of here!
What the fuck is wrong with you? You fucking animal! You piece of shit! Little tiny dick licker! Fucking asshole! Fucking eye!
Do you think that this is a fucking game?
It literally is. It's hide and seek. It has deadly consequences, but it literally is a game.
That's not what he meant. Kittredge was chastising Daniel for not taking the situation seriously.
Well, this was fun. What do you say we, divvy up the wedding gifts at brunch tomorrow?
Do you think that this is a fucking game?
Also, Daniel says the thing you just said in the footage you're showing.
Yes. Hide and seek. Remember?
I think you made your point, sweetheart. Thank you. Oh, holy...
I don't think I've ever loved Annie McDowell more, but every time I see her, I'm still reminded of that f***ing Is It Raining scene from 4 Weddings and a Funeral, and that shit is 100% a sin.
Well, this sin isn't anything, but let's take this time to enjoy this glorious face that I paused on.
Take the maids to the goat pit.
Holy shit, Take the Maids to the Goat Pit was the name of my freshman year grunge band, until my dad found out and made us change it to the Fun Seekers.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
But he can't kill her, and I'm not sure how you can figure out a 100% way to hit someone with a car to just maim. And if you f*** this up, now she has a car. This is a terrible plan.
He's going slow enough to only injure Grace. And it's not that hard to be aware of your speed.
So the butler is still alive and shoots Grace with a tranq dart, but that guy's indestructible. He should be dead at least twice over. But the movie needs him to survive, so he's basically a Terminator.
Also, how did he get here so fast? Grace drove a car while he had to go on foot.
I googled it. They'll weird for a week, but they'll be fine.
Weird. You'll weird for a week, but you'll be fine was the original marketing slogan for Dr. Pepper.
Daniel, get out of the way.
Once again, you can't kill her, and Grace knows this. Maybe they could wound her, but I still don't think that gun holds nearly the same amount of threat that Charity thinks it does.
The gun holds a threat towards Daniel.
This house has hundreds of unattended burning candles, but throwing this lantern into the curtain ends up being the only fire hazard.
A fire hazard doesn't have to cause a fire to still be a fire hazard.
In my defense, It's been a while.
Maybe you should practice more.
We already covered this.
Don't go, I need you, Daniel, don't go!
Daniel's death causes Alex to go to the dark side and agree to take part in Grace's sacrifice. While this stupid plot twist doesn't derail the movie completely, it comes a hell of a lot closer than I would like it to. It's so fucking stupid.
How is this stupid? Alex loses Daniel and knows that Grace is probably leaving him if she survives tonight. He then sides with his family because if he doesn't, he'll either die or have no one.
Daniel's dead.
You won't be with me after this, will you? She's in here!
Grace goes full Mel Gibson in The Patriot on Annie McDowell, only it's less bloody and also more easily justified. He stabs down, and then the editors cut this all to hell, and I have no idea what even happened. Somehow, Grace ends up with the knife. I guess she moved, and the knife hit her shoulder, and that made everyone let go? The hell?
Grace stabbed Aunt Helene with her nail, causing Aunt Helene to let go. Tony then realized that she was free, and in a panic, accidentally let her go. Everyone else did the same thing, and then she took the knife out of her shoulder.
I can't really show you this because YouTube has, I don't know, standards and but all the Ladomases explode in extremely bloody fashion. That's fucking hilarious and awesome. As stupid as the Alex twist is, the movie more than makes up for it by having the balls to go for it and make the curse real. It is the only ending this movie could have, and everyone involved was smart enough to realize this. 3 cents off!
Very good. What he said.